Hi, I'm Dr. Chuck Meakin, 30-year cancer doctor turned health and wellness coach. I have a charity coaching site called coachitforwardchuck.com. It's a great resource of important information, and there's some other lovely coaches there that will volunteer their time to coach people on different issues. And if people feel it's a useful exercise, they can donate to some of the charities there. And it might be an opportunity for them to get more involved in being coached and really optimize their life so they can serve the world better. That's my goal. One of the other goals is to offer simple, accessible, affordable health priorities for people to consider accessing 80% of the time. And if you get it 80% of the time, it's going to work out well for you. At this point, I'd like to talk about fitness and exercise. There's a lot written on this, and I'm by far not the final authority. It has been something I've been active in all my life. Played sports as a young man, played first year tennis at Notre Dame, and then after I decided to go into med school, just did club sports. And most recently, with some of the vision loss from peripheral vision, I've migrated to more rock climbing, mountaineering, whitewater kayaking, those kind of things. And I do a lot of fitness stuff. One of the groups I really enjoy is called SEAL Fit, the Unbeatable Mind retreat out with Mark Devine in Southern California. I've gone to that 5 years in a row, and most recently with my son. Today we're going to talk about exercise. One thing I always go back to is, what did our ancestors do? I talked about what our ancestors did with nutrition. What did they do with exercise? Well, generally, because they were hunter-gatherers, most of them walked 5 to 15 miles a day, gathering roots and vegetables and hunting game. So there was a lot of intermittent fasting. And generally what we ate was high-fat diet. More recently, we've kind of come to the thought that, our body's energy is like a bank. Calories in, calories out. And that was thought about for a while, but it didn't make any good sense. In fact, author Gary Taubes has written the book, Good Calories, Bad Calories, and that has been proven wrong, and more recent studies have proven it wrong. Think about it. If you went to the worst fast food location and ate 3,000 calories, you would definitely get a different outcome than if you ate the best 3,000 calories you could buy and find at an organic restaurant or from mom's kitchen. So you're going to get a different outcome. Exercise is not a tool to burn up those calories so you can lessen the negative inputs to the bank. No. Exercise is to set the table, to generate growth hormone, to activate metabolism, to lower glucose levels. By activating growth hormone, you activate androgens that shed fat and add muscle. It's really a way to set the table of the internal milieu of the body, the environment, to do the right thing and activate youthfulness. And interesting study that weightlifting alone activated greater than 21 epigenetic sites that steer us toward more youthful behavior. Brain function, nerve function, bone integrity. So what we know about exercise, it's not just to burn calories, it's to really set the table for a good structure, good hormones. It's the best thing we can do for the brain. Remember, brain-derived neuropeptide, it activates memory areas in the hypothalamus and in the area of the brain that fosters memory. It's critical for brain health. In fact, for dementia strategies, the most important thing they do is daily exercise. So how do we exercise? First of all, before we get into the specifics, let me mention that recovery is critical. In the older days, I used to say, more pain, more gain. Yes, it's important to do a workout that takes you to a point of challenge, but doing that every day will miss the recovery period that will give you the benefits of that exercise. In fact, it's like digging a hole. If you dig a hole so deep and you don't fully fill it in, you're starting from a different point every day, and it's going to get harder and harder to get back to the baseline. So recovery is important. So I try to mix up the exercise where if I do like a strong aerobic exercise one day, like I did yesterday morning, this morning I did some yoga to start the day, and then some high intensity weightlifting to activate a different area of my body, coupled with good sleep and targeted nutrition in between as well. So recovery is very, very important. In fact, sports teams, at a professional level are starting to look at recovery predictors. This ring, the Aura ring, and there's other products out there, tells me my readiness level every day. And if I don't sleep well, and I did a long bike ride or hike yesterday and hadn't fully recovered based on my HRV and my resting heart rates and things that are predictors of recovery, then this printout or this daily reading tells me on my phone that I should probably take it easy today. And it's smart to listen to that, because when you don't, that's when you overdo it and get a cold or pop a tendon or injure yourself. I try to mix things up, and the experts out there that speak about things like Jordan Metzger and Sean Stevenson, you want to get in high intensity workouts. Those are what activate the growth hormone, and those are what get a lot of work done in a short time. There's many ways to do it. One of the ways I like is called the Sprint 8. It's actually a great video with Joe Mercola, who's a visionary physician, and a guy named Phil Campbell, who's a sprint expert. And it's called the Sprint 8, where you do like a 30-second sprint, a little bit of warm up, and then a 30-second sprint on a compound stepping machine where you're pushing with your arms and your legs. During that 30 seconds, you push it. And then you do 90 seconds rest, 30-second sprint, 90-second rest. If you can go to 8 cycles of that with a little slowdown at the end of it, it's 20 minutes. At the end of that, you have activated growth hormone. It works the whole body. In a study where they did that with nurses, they saw remarkable improvement in blood parameters, remarkable improvement in body fat percentage, even after 8 weeks. Also, I think weights are very important. I talked about the epigenetic effects of it. You want to keep your structure good. You can do a lot of fitness, but if the bony structure is starting to fail, you're bent over, you're not stretching out those joints, you're not strengthening the joints by high impact weight bearing, where the bones bend and the bones get stronger, the structure will fail and ultimately you'll have trouble. It's like building a house with a great house with a great roof and great exterior, but you have a poor foundation. Aerobics are important. I try to do those 1 to 2 times a week. Aerobics can be long walks. I tend to do more stuff at our local mountain with hiking, with weights in the backpack, spin class, which is easy on the body. Still try to do some sprints from time to time. I figure everybody's got to be able to sprint 100 yards, run a mile, and hike 10 miles. Those are sort of my big 3. And also lift your weight in many different ways: handstand, pull up, and then on the bench, as well as lift 1.5 times your weight, on a squat or a squatting machine. Do those things and carry those through life. You'll never get any weaker because you'll keep doing it. The other thing I say is important. We talked about high intensity, talked about weights, we talked about aerobic exercise. I like this category of stretch and balance in yoga. Those work the fascial planes, the connections between our muscles and our bones, and pushing the limits of those. And that's where you stay young, and that's where you stay balanced. And I think yoga finds your weak spots. And I try to get in at home using Kokora Yoga with Mark Devine, or at our local hospital health center where I do a yoga class at least once a week. The key thing is you want to make it fun. You want to not do it instead of sleep. If you get up early and suffer through 6 hours of sleep or 5 hours of sleep to get your exercise in, you probably end up with a net negative. Do yourself a favor, get plenty of sleep, and then add exercise to it. I like doing it in the morning because it corresponds with my cortisol rise. I have water, the water ritual, the clean coffee, and then the exercise. You got the cortisol rise with the exercise. It helps you lay down, new tissue. You do it at night, then you probably won't be able to sleep well for 3 to 4 hours. And then if you leave exercise till at the end of the day, things get in the way with it. Family stuff, work stuff, our busy lives. So the morning is where I like to do it. And I think most people successfully do it. You start when there's nothing to interrupt you. And don't underestimate the availability of gravity exercises. People think they got to join a gym, but you want to make it as simple and easy as possible, low cost. I do most of my stuff at home. Fortunately, my lovely hospital, Claremont Health, had a fitness center right there with classes and wonderful people to help with the training. But gravity exercises, you can do a lot. Gravity exercises, I mean, just push-ups, sit-ups, jumps, squats, simple things. I used to do something called the Meakin 60. I would do a brief warm-up, and then I would start the clock. And I was in great shape after doing this. I would do 8 exercises, and I would do 60 of each of the 8 exercises. And I'd start the clock, and I would do, it was 30 crunches, 30 leg lifts, 30 push-ups, et cetera, and then I would do them again. I'd do them as fast as I could. It exercised every area of my body. I was done in 12 minutes. I had a good sweat on. And during that time, if I remember back, I was probably as fit as I've ever been. I'd like to show you my quick exercise program that I would recommend to my patients all the time, because I'd say no matter how busy you are, you could at least do 6 minutes before you get in the shower every morning. If you do that, you'd be surprised what kind of progress you'll make. So I'm going to go to that right now, but before I leave, I want to say, remember, make all your projects simple, accessible, affordable, and make them their health priorities, the major things to do. If you do them 80% of the time, you'll really rock. And don't forget, you are your own best doctor. Stay strong and curious, and good luck. Hi, I'm Dr. Chuck again. We just talked about fitness and exercise, and I wanted to end with something I think anybody can do and we all can do, and it's so easy. It's keeping with our theme, which is simple, accessible, affordable, health priorities that all of us can do. And if we do it 80% of the time, we're golden. And I would give these out to patients at the cancer center and say, all right, do you have 6 minutes before you get in the shower every morning? Well, most people have that and some, but I say, well, I can make a big difference in your day if you just give me 6 minutes. You can do the primary exercises, little aerobics in between. Now, if you don't do this hard, doing it every day would be okay, but if you can make this a hard exercise by really activating things and doing it fast. You probably want to do it 3 times a week, and then do walking and other simple things on the other side. So what I suggest to people is, first of all, kind of loosen up, get the arms moving, do the circles, start marching, get going different ways, kind of love yourself, hug yourself. And then once you get loosened up, I tell them to get your iPhone or their phone or clock and start the clock. And once again, I suggest maybe 30 seconds of the muscle movement and then 30 seconds of some simple aerobics like, like jumping jack, or you can, do it this way, you jump in place, something that gets the heart going, and then at the 30-second interval, you jump back into we're going to talk about 5 major exercises to get the 5 major muscle groups going. So you start the clock and tell them, all right, the biggie is, Dr. Ross says the most important exercise is the chair squat. This is chair squat with a little bit of added, pressure. Remember to keep your rear end out. You want to be able to read the front of your shirt as you go down. I'm going to do these for 30 seconds. I doubled up on the stretchy bands because you don't want to make it too easy. But even doing these without weight can be helpful. 30 seconds is up. You want to release this and then go to your jumping jacks. Hit 30 seconds there. Pretend we did it. The second exercise is really easy to do. You can then, work on your biceps. And that's easy. You work from here, maybe put it under one foot if you can. 30 seconds of these. If you're not getting enough work done, you can always go faster. And, speed versus weight will get it done. After that, go back to your jumping jacks, or if you want to try it differently, go to your march in place. After 30 seconds, we're now 2 minutes into this. We're really moving now. Don't want to forget, the back muscles, latissimus dorsi, trapezius. You can do this from a door handle, but since we don't have a door here, I'm just going to show you this way. Work it this way. It's kind of a rowing motion. You'd be surprised, 30 seconds of this can get you going. After that, let's go back to the jumping jacks. Keep the heart going. Once again, we're only 3 minutes into this. Next exercise. Once again, we did the front of the arms. We don't want to forget the triceps, the back of the arms. Make a 90 degrees with your body. Once again, you can do this off a door handle, but work the triceps. Try to go all the way out. The beauty of bands is they increase the resistance as you extend, which that way you start easy and gets hard. There are some researchers that say that gives you better growth hormone release. 30 seconds of those. Go back to your jumping jacks or march in place, whatever you want. 30 seconds of that. You're about 4 minutes into this. Now this, we've done the squats, we've done the back, we've done the bis, we've done the tris. What are we missing? Got to do the chest. Probably want to double up on this, or you could put this against a door and do it this way, but I'm just going to put it behind me. I've been using a product called 3X that uses this mesh motion, and it's, once again, uses bands and really activates growth hormone. So put it behind your body, go out. This is safe because when you get where the shoulder's exposed, you have very minimal force, unlike weights, where it's just as heavy here as it is out here, but this gets harder as you go out. 30 seconds, you can mix it up a little, go at different angles. Go back to your jumping jacks. So we've done 5 exercises, 5 minutes, a little bit of aerobics in between. The final thing you could do that I like is kind of a total body thing. I loop this around the door handles. So it's like this, and I come down. So it works the whole fascial plane from the lower abdominal, middle abdominal, upper abdominal, maybe the obliques if we want to cross over, sort of the upper arms, pull down. That'll be your 6th extra credit one. So all of a sudden, you do this in the morning. Number one, you'll lower blood sugars because you're activating some exercise. It will burn blood sugars. Number 2, you're activating growth hormone and other metabolic factors that will shed fat, add muscle. The little bit of exercise you did will keep your metabolism going longer. It'll help with brain clarity. It can really make your day. And then you're in your shower, you clean up, you're on the way, and you've done something. You'd be surprised. There's a momentum. It's a great momentum with your day. If you own your morning, you pretty much own your day, you pretty much own your life. There's a beautiful book by Hal Elrod about Miracle Morning. First thing he says to do is, no matter what, just make your bed. Throw your covers over here. Then, the breakfast, the water, a little bit of exercise, it can really give you momentum for the day. So remember, be your own best doctor, stay strong and curious, and we're here if you need us. Check out the website, Coach It Forward Chuck. Thank you.